Okay, so now we're going to create some really ugly, simple animations because we're not going to spend forever on making animations. It's about the process of getting this all to work in Unreal. But we are going to create an idle, a walk, a run, and a jump. Okay, so we're going to create all of those and we're going to learn how to set them up properly in Unreal and blend them together eventually. But we need to start by preparing our file for animation. So maybe this is handed off to an animator and they duplicate the file or something like that. You can use referencing of the rig, but I will warn you, it can get kind of dangerous because it changes all of the names of the stuff in the outliner, which can then confuse Unreal. So you need to be careful about stuff like that and do tests really, really early on if you're going to try and do referencing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the animation thing, and I am going to also bring up what's called the bookmarks. So bookmarks is right here. You have like this time slider bookmark menu. And if you just left click it, it says like create bookmarks and stuff like that. But if you right click it, you can bring up this menu and you can actually choose bookmark manager. And I personally like docking it right here because I'm going to be using it a lot when I'm doing stuff like this. So I'm going to set my time range to 0, 100. I'm going to make sure that I have my frame rate for my animations set how I want them. That's going to be 30 FPS for me. That's what I want for my particular setup, and that's pretty common for games. Could be 60 FPS depending on how complex things are. If you're making a fighting game, it's going to get very complex because then you have to deal with like also the balancing of the frame data. But for now, let's go 30 FPS. Make sure playback speed's 30 FPS x1. That way we know 30 frames is 1 second. And most of the cycles we're going to do are going to be really short and ugly just to get things down. So we're going to say like a walk cycle, 1 second, right? It's not going to be long at all, 1/1000. We're going to start from this base pose, and what we're going to do, what I personally like doing, is grabbing all of the control curves and keyframing them all with the S key. And the only reason I do that is because I want a keyframe that has quite literally everything. If you're an animator, you probably have your own methods of doing all of this stuff. All of that is fine, right? This is about getting the stuff in the engine. Whatever pipeline works for you in terms of getting your animations done, do it. I got to call this idle. And we're going to say frame 1 to, let's say 30, which is actually pretty short idle. Idles can be pretty long. But that will be our idle. And you can see it's really nice in Maya now. It like color codes the time slider. Does a lot of nice stuff in the graph editor too. Now, this is an idle, and we're legitimately just, again, we're doing quick tests and quick setups. So I'm literally not going to do anything in the idle. Maybe just to give it, here, we'll do this. Just to give it like a little bit of movement, the character will kind of like hunch down a little bit. And then here, they'll go back up, right? We will say, copy this frame, paste it here, and we have this. That's the idle, right? We're not doing anything amazing or anything like that. So one thing you should know about the bookmark system is these two buttons can be really dangerous and confusing. This one sets the current selection on the time slider to the bookmark, and this one goes to the bookmark range. This is the one you usually want to use. So if you click this, you can see it's just like, okay, well now I could, hit play and preview it. So that's really nice. But you can accidentally mess these up pretty quick. Now, the next one we're going to add quite a lot of padding, because what if we wanted to change things later? And we're going to do like 101 to 130. And that will be the walk cycle. We'll just make it a different color. We're going to hit add. We're also going to do a run, a jump, So let's go ahead and set those up really quick. Run will be 201 to 230. And jump will be 301 to 330. So everything's just going to be 1 second. Really simple. Again, in real production, this would be more complex. But now we can go to any of them very quickly. So now we're in our walk, and I can go ahead and keyframe it. Now, the really cool thing about this, and this is why I always do it this way, is I can always reselect everything, go back to 0, and copy that, and then go to the beginning 101 of my walk and paste it. It's not imperative that your animations start at the same locations as their other animations. I mean, obviously in a cycle, the beginning and the end should be the same, but it's not imperative that each different cycle starts and ends in the same thing, but it will make your stuff more fluid unless you spend a lot of time on what's called blending later. Now, I do notice one mistake right here that's bothering me quite a bit, and it's that these keyframes right here need to be moved. So I'm just going to move them real quick. There we go. And then here, we'll go ahead and we'll start our walk cycle. So we'll start here, like, let's say 10 frames in. We're legitimately just going to move the feet. 20 frames in, reverse them. And then the final frame, same as the beginning. Not sure that one clicked. So again, not the best cycle ever. And there's like the pause that I would want to get out of there. There's a whole bunch of stuff I would want to do to make it better. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the beauty of the animations. By no means. I'm not doing hip sway, weighting, all the other stuff. Like, that's not the point of these videos. But now we're going to go to run. We're going to do something similar, though. I'm going to go to walk and go ahead and select everything. Copy. Go to run. Paste. We'll also paste at the end. Just get that done. And we're going to go ahead. We'll just do that to jump right now, too. Save ourselves some time. Paste. Paste. So now for run, what we're going to want to do is, I could have just copied entirely all of walk. But what we're probably going to end up doing is just do it at like 5 frames each and then shorten the whole time so that it's a faster cycle. And I don't even, I'm be honest with you, I don't even care if I do them in the wrong order. Like if the right foot was first last time. In real production, I would spend a lot more time. But we're going to go ahead and, well, undo that. Grab everything, cut it. And then we'll go to like 215, paste it, and we will set this to 215. So there we go. So now we're just like a lot faster for the run. Preview that. Looks hilariously bad, and that's okay. And then we're going to go to the jump, right? So we'll go to the jump. We already have the start and the end. We're going to go basically to the middle. And we're going to jump our character. So he's going to go into the air. And we'll do a little bit more. So there we go. We got a jump. And we're good. This is good enough for me to show all of the blending and the testing and everything like that, right? So we're going to go ahead and save our Miocene. I'm going to save out Bob. And now that we have these set up, it's actually going to be pretty easy. We'll go ahead and learn how to export in the next video.